mamas, welcome back to my channel. So glad you are here with me today. I hope you all are doing well. If you are new here, my name is Tiffany and I make motherhood and lifestyle videos, especially for those mamas who would like to work from home. So today we are going to talk about how I became a virtual assistant in 15 days or 2 weeks. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss any uploads from me. Now, before we jump into this, I just want to say that this is not a guarantee for you to land your first client in 15 days, but this is a video, and if you want to get started in becoming a virtual assistant, I actually landed my first client about 8 days after I launched. So that was in total 23 days, about 3 weeks, from where I decided I wanted to become a virtual assistant into when I got my first signed contract. That was about 23 days, but I officially launched 15 days after I decided I wanted to become a virtual assistant. So if you want to know more about how I became a virtual assistant, stick around. I took about the first 2 days to research what a virtual assistant is and what I wanted to do. So let me go ahead and back up. So a virtual assistant is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's an assistant that is virtual. So basically, when people think of virtual assistants, most of them think of people who are basically administrative assistants who work from home, or a coffee shop or another office or something like that. And that's what I also envisioned it as. I think when it first began, a few years ago, it was more so admins who were working remotely. Nowadays, a virtual assistant can be just about anything that you want to do virtually. For instance, there are social media virtual assistants and who help with social media. That's what I do. Some of my clients, I just strictly do their social media. You can do film editing. You can do the general admin stuff like making phone calls, email management, and stuff like that. In a sense, virtual assistant is any job basically that you can do online for your client. So it's very easy to get into. If you're good at video editing, go ahead. You can be a virtual assistant in doing that. If you're good at answering emails, you can do that. If you are great at blogging, you can be a virtual assistant for someone else who doesn't necessarily want to blog or don't have time to edit their blogs or something like that. So the way I got started is for the first 2 days, I just strictly research, and that's what I would suggest you do. Research if you want to be a virtual assistant. Learn more about what a virtual assistant is and see if that's something that you would like to do. I research not only what a virtual assistant is, I also research what a virtual assistant does and I also research how much money they make, because again, for me, I wanted to have an income where I could stay home with my son, but I also wanted to make sure that I wasn't working for pennies on the hour, if that makes sense. So research the types of virtual assistant, research business structures, decide if you would want to be full-time or if you want to be part-time. For me personally, I knew that in this season with a 17-month-old, I can't necessarily be full-time. So I am part-time right now. I currently work between 20 to 30 hours a week. Add on more later. I don't think I'll take on any less, but that's where I am right now. So use that time to really research. After that, I would go ahead and start joining some Facebook groups. That way you can network and you can pull information from other people and get ideas and stuff like that. One group that I absolutely love and that has been pivotal and has been so helpful in me launching this journey is the Virtual Savvy group. This is no way sponsored, but Abby has put so much time and information into not only that Facebook group, but also her blog that she has out that has resources and stuff, that has resources for other virtual assistants that literally, it was so helpful, and the people in the group are so helpful and so nice, and they know so much. So I will go ahead and I will link that Facebook group, and I will also link Abby's blog down below so that way you can get more information. So the next thing I did was I decided on my services. So what I did was I thought about what I wanted to do and what I did not want to do. And thankfully, because you are now your own boss, you are now an entrepreneur, you can decide what you do and what you want to do. I have background in admin. I was an admin assistant for a couple companies for a couple of years. And so I knew things that I liked about it and I knew things I didn't like about it. And I also knew that having a 17-month-old, I can't answer phone calls. Nobody wants to be talking to someone on the phone with a screaming toddler in the background or getting interrupted. So for me, my services don't include telephone. However, I knew that I love blogging since I have a blog. I know that I am good at email management. I am good at general admin tasks. I also love social media. And so those are my services. I offer blogging, social media, and as well as general admin tasks. And again, that does not include telephone or anything like that. But you could be totally different. You could hate social media and not offer that. You could love blogging. You could like writing. You could love talking on the phone. You could be more of a project manager. So go ahead, and that's also what will be done in your research stage, is go ahead and decide on what your services are going to be. So after you spend the day on what your services are going to be, decide on what your pricing structure is going to be, what your pricing and your structure is going to be. Most people in this industry have packages, so they usually have 3 packages: a lower end, a medium, most average end, and then a higher end. So for me, I knew at the most that I wanted to work a month would be about 20 to 30 hours. So I have a package. My highest end is at 20 hours. My lowest that I wanted to be able to work a month is 10 hours. So I have a 10-hour package, a 15-hour package, and a 20-hour package. I also have an option where customers could do custom packages if they would like. So what I would do after I've decided on my pricing, my structure, what I want to do, I would go ahead and think of a name and make sure it's not trademarked. For me, it was simple, it was easy. I just used my name. But you might have something like the Blue Flag Virtual Assistants or something like that. Go ahead and see if you like it, make sure it's not trademarked, and then also I would look and see if it's also taken on any social media, so that way you don't have to worry about it later. What I would do is make sure I get all my licenses, all my permits, and to make sure I get an EIN number. And I will go ahead and put down here what an EIN stands for, but you want to get that so that way you want to make sure that you are legal. And the thing I would do after this, I will set up a checking account, and I will also get insurance. So that way, in the small chance that you would get sued, you are covered. And then also a checking account, so that way you can make sure that you have your business money that is coming in is separate from your personal money. After that was after I got my name done and after I got registered and everything and made sure I was legal, I went ahead and all this again takes no time at all. I went ahead and I made a simple website. Well, actually, I have my own website already because I do run a blog, so I just added that to my blog. But what you would like to do is you would set up a simple website, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy smancy. You can set up a Wix website, a Squarespace. I have Squarespace. You can do WordPress, just something to get it out there. And on your website, you want to put who you are, what you do, which is your services. You want to put your pricing, and you also want to put how people can contact you. And if you would like to as well, you can put your testimonials as well. Once you get that done, you got your website up, you want to go ahead and put your social media out there. So you also want to link your social media to your website. But before you do that, before of course linking, you have to set up your account. So if you want to do Instagram, if you want to do Twitter, Facebook, a Facebook business page should be the top one that you do. And then after that, you can do a Twitter, a Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever. But make sure that you set those up. Make sure you have those, even if you're not posting it, have those so that way your name isn't snatched or anything. And that way you can link that to your website. So from there, you kind of want to just develop your processes. I would research what type of processes you want to do, how you would like to get paid. So if you want to get paid via PayPal or anything like that, or what your office hours are going to be, how you will onboard clients, how you would track your hours, because a lot of people want you to track your hours, stuff like that. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you have all your processes in place and all your tools in place. And lastly, you want to make sure that you create a welcome packet. This is so that way when you do finally land your first client, and you definitely will, that you have a welcome packet to give them to welcome them. And that's how I became a virtual assistant in 15 days. Obviously, you don't have to do it that quickly. I just knew that I wanted to get this done as quick as possible so that way I can start making some money as quick as possible. But you could take 30 days, you can take 90 days, you can take as long as you need. I know that these steps were kind of quick, so go ahead and leave a comment below if you would like for me to make this a series so that way I can dive into this a little more. But as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to don't forget to comment below if you would like for me to make this a series, and go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great one, mamas. Love you.